Today I traded in my 2008 Z925 for this commercial Z925A. I have two of the same size Z425. One is a 2013, one is a 2008. So the 2008 had 645 hours on it, which that engine is recommended for about 700 to 800 hours as far as lifespan goes. So I decided it was time to trade it in on something a little bit better. You know, my business is growing, and as it grows, I want to keep improving the equipment that I have. And so this is a start in that direction. I just brought this home, so I've been playing with it a little bit. It has the 7-iron Pro deck, 60-inch cut, and the no flat front tires. You know, all the standard stuff for the commercial. This is the simple version. It came with a mulching kit, which I am not going to use. The mulching kit consists of a set that goes inside the deck, and you put mulching blades on the mower, and it creates a mulching effect inside, but it doesn't mow as well with that on it, from what I've heard, what I've read. So I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is run the medium lift blades, and I'm going to create a chute block for the end of the chute, so when I'm mowing up against an object or near a road, I can open and close that chute block, but not have to run it all the time, and not have to have the mulching set up. So this mower is used. It's a 2012 with 1,500 hours on it, which this mower is rated for about a 3,000 hour lifespan on that engine. I got a really good deal on my trade-in. I got quite a bit more for that 2008 residential mower than I thought I would get, and the difference that I paid for that between my trade-in and this mower is about what I would have paid for another Z425, but instead I got a nice used commercial mower. So this doesn't have any of the hydraulics, none of the bells and whistles. This one's kind of the, I guess, the plain Jane, if you will. It also has the 24.6 horsepower motor, electronic fuel injected, which I really like that. You don't have a choke to pull when you start it. You just jump on, turn the key, take off. It runs really nice. But I'm also moving up from a 54-inch deck on both of my Z425s have 54-inch decks. So the one that I traded in had that 54-inch deck, and now I'm going to be running a 60-inch deck. So we'll see how that works out. I have a lot of large properties, a lot of really big yards. I don't have a lot of tight spaces that I have to get into, so I don't think that a 60-inch deck is going to be a problem. In fact, I'm hoping that it will speed up some of my jobs where a 54-inch deck does a fantastic job, but I think this might do a little bit better. It does move faster. I believe this is rated at 12 miles an hour. It may be 11, but either way, that's considerably faster than my 425s, which run about 7 or 8 miles an hour. So it has the adjustable, or the ride adjustment on the seat, so it has the suspension in the seat. That'll be really nice. You know, riding around on one of these things all day. Those Z425s are kind of rough. They'll beat you around. This should be quite a bit smoother ride. So I was able to do some mowing today. I mowed my yard, which is pretty pitiful. It's not hardly worth looking at. My grass kind of gets smothered out by all the trees that we have in our neighborhood, and especially in my yard. But I got to mow my grass. Looks okay. Like I said, my yard's kind of crappy, but I mowed my yard, then I went and mowed a customer's yard that called me up, and I was like, great, you know, opportunity to get out and try it out. So initial impressions, I am very pleased. I could tell a huge difference in the deck size. Being a 60-inch deck, I did have to be a little bit more careful that I didn't scalp anything, you know, as far as digging in on one side or the other of the deck. But the one thing that helps a lot with that is that the deck doesn't stick out very much past the tires. In fact, it sticks out less past the tires than my Z425. You can see it up in front of this mower, so that helps quite a bit. I mean, your deck really can't dig in very much unless your tires set in farther than the deck, if that makes any sense. And it actually sets in less than my Z425 by several inches. So I really like all of the wheels that it has on the deck. You know, front, back, middle. I mean, it's got wheels everywhere to make sure that you don't dig in. I probably am going to, tomorrow, I'm going to measure my deck, make sure that everything's level, even though it cuts like it is. Make sure that they're level, and possibly adjust my guide wheels down just a little bit, so that when I'm coming up over a ridge, I don't accidentally scalp. I think that's probably about the only scalping that this thing could do. But other than that, I really liked the suspension seat. That made a huge difference. The yard that I went and did was very rough, and had it not been for that suspension seat, it would have been quite a bit rougher. So I'm already loving that. I was down to 1/4 of a tank of fuel. I don't know if you can see this very well. Right now it's showing 1/2 a tank. So I hadn't put fuel in this yet. I knew I had a 1/4 tank, so I wasn't worried about it. And it didn't move. I think I mowed maybe a total of an hour, and the fuel gauge never moved off of a 1/4 tank. I put 5 gallons in when I got back, which is what I had left in one of my gas cans, and all it did was move it to 1/2 a tank. So I don't know how much gas this thing holds. Surely it doesn't hold 20 gallons, but apparently it's got one heck of a fuel tank on it. So hopefully it doesn't drink fuel as bad as it takes to fill it up. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's just part of it. But initial impressions, I really like it. It was quiet, considerably quieter than my Z425. Smoother ride, nice cut. I didn't have to go back over anything. And this time of year, got a lot of cattails and stuff in the grass, and you almost always have to go over it twice to cut those little suckers off. And I didn't have to do that. So I'm very pleased, and I'll share some more whenever I have more to share. Thanks for watching.